So let's finish Eco's 14 warning signs of fascism. If part 1 made you uneasy, part 2 goes deeper. Remember, this is for educational purposes only. Number 8. Enemies are both strong and weak. The trait portraying enemies as simultaneously omnipotent and pathetic. Examples: the Jewish people historically portrayed as both controlling global finance and being degenerate parasites. Western liberalism framed by some regimes as both weak, decadent, and controlling the world order. Refugees painted as impoverished, freeloaders, and powerful invading force. So the function, both fear and aggression, keeps followers in a state of. So the trait would be criticizing militarism or aggression is treated as betrayal. Dissenters against the war, g. Iraq war, Ukraine invasion, labeled as unpatriotic or traitors. Putin's regime criminalizing anti-war speech after invading Ukraine, and some nationalist movements calling peace advocates cowards or globalist puppets. So the function is keeps society on a permanent war footing, I guess. It rallies the population around the flag.
I like the market flag.
10 is contempt for the weak. The trait is glorification of strength, disdain for marginalized groups. Fascist rhetoric mocking disabled people, welfare recipients, or losers. Anti-homelessness policies that criminalize poverty rather than address it. Hyper-masculine political personas portraying empathy as a weakness. Where have you heard that? The function is it reinforces hierarchy and in-group pride. Number 11. Everyone must be a hero. The trait is glorifying sacrifice and heroic death. Examples would be like ISIS and jihadist groups promising martyrdom as glory. Nationalist movements calling for young men to defend the nation or fight the globalists. Military recruitment campaigns emphasizing heroism over actual policy. So the function romanticizes death and obedience, discourages pragmatic solution. So number 12, machismo if you want, and weaponry. The trait masculinity, cult, sexual control, weapon glorification. Examples would be the U.S. far-right groups celebrating guns as symbols of manhood and patriotism. Authoritarian regimes policing women's dress, reproductive rights, or LGBTQ plus behavior. Leaders projecting strongmen personas like Bolsonaro, Trump, Putin. They're tied to masculine dominance. So the function fuses identity politics with gender control to build loyalty. 13. Selective populism. The trait would be the people are defined narrowly by the leader. Pluralism is rejected. So Orban's illiberal democracy, only real Hungarians count as the people. Populist leaders dismissing journalists, minorities opposing as not real citizens. The opposition is not real citizens. Cult of personality rallies claiming the leader alone embodies a nation's will. So the function would be to it undermines democratic institutions by fusing the people with the leader's authority. And 14, newspeak. Trait, reduction of language to slogans limiting complex thought. Examples, repetitive political slogans. Build the wall, stop the steal, enemies of the people. Authoritarian control of media to standardize vocabulary. China's state slogans, North Korea language policing, online echo chambers, amplify simplified memes, hashtag instead of nuanced debate. So the function is it makes critical thinking harder, creates emotional resonance through repetition. Why this list matters today. Eco's point was not that fascism will always return in the same form, but that these traits can reappear in new clothes, digital media, culture wars, conspiracy networks, charismatic populism. Modern movements often mix nationalism, religion, authoritarianism, and media manipulation to achieve similar ends without calling themselves fascist. Even a few of these traits appearing together should raise alarms. Fascism doesn't start with death camps, it starts with stories, slogans, and fear.